the output that you get is going to be a list of comma-separated file in the documentation that is available about the linkage. You can see how you can read the files. Okay, so all these output here, all these numbers here, they represent something. In this case, we have Benin, and we have a list of numbers. Okay, and this list of numbers are basically the code to understand the scenario. So each file is a different scenario, and here, by reading this document, you can understand the scenario. Okay, so the first two letters are related to the name of the country. The second letter is a number that is the version 2. So you're going to get always the version 2, and then you have the target consumption, and then you have the social commercial use, and so on. Okay, so this is how you understand, by reading this document, this is how you understand the difference between all these files, because all these files, they use the same input that are the ones you specified here in Quantum.js. Okay, they use the same population data that are the ones that you specify, but they calculate the output according to different parameters. And you can see here how the different parameters were calculated. Okay, for example, you know, the last number indicate if you have a scenario with a nationwide least cost approach, or the one using a grid connection within 2 kilometers. The previous one is telling you if you have a intermediate investment plan that is not capped or capped to annual connection, and so on. Okay, so instead of you deciding the parameters here, you get all of them. Okay, in the list of scenario. So you have, if everything works correctly, you should have 96 files that correspond to the 96 possible scenarios that you can create with OnSSET. Okay, when you open each of these files, you can see the output, and you have in this file that is available to you, you can see the meaning of all the columns in the output. Okay, so you have, for each scenario, you have a list of output. You have X and Y to represent X and Y coordinate of the centroid of the polygon. That is our starting point. So you have the centroid of the polygon here, and you have all this information. Okay, all this information, they represent some of the input that were coming from the JS file, and also the output. So for each scenario, you have, for example, which is the in this case, which is the minimum overall. That is the technology. Is a string that defines the technology available for as a solution in 2030 for each polygon, and so on. Then you have the new capacity, and you can decide, you know, which information and how you want to display, and you want to analyze the result.